was telling me we don't want. Nazir wanted to make it physical. So
Correct. I think with you it has to be, it becomes lively when you're there.
no, even I enjoyed being physical because there are a lot of learning for me. Interaction two-way होता है तो मजा आता है.
Correct.
So we'll wait for 2-3 minutes and then we'll start so that people can join. They don't miss.
What is the highest turnout, Bhaiya, in Broker Ki Pathshala? What is the highest?
See, turnover, initially when we started, so that time it was full lockdown.
Yeah, correct.
So initially we had opened up that, जैसे NR इंडिया में देखते सारे लोग लाइव रहते हैं.
हाँ.
तो उसमें फिर वो डिस्टर्बेंस तभी टेक्नोलॉजी हमको भी समझ में नहीं आता था उतना. So few sessions we kept that way. So initially there were around 350-400 people.
Oh, fabulous.
Then slowly lockdown open हुआ तो we changed this to webinar model so that there is no disturbance. And we keep it live, Facebook live. So now everything is open, so people don't have that much time during the business hour. So wherever they are, they see login on Facebook and कुछ लोग आते हैं फिर वापस जाते हैं. But the best part of these sessions are that whenever they want, they can see later on at their convenience.
Correct. Oh yeah, that's true.
That's the beauty of this technology. So. And I think this will. I am going to continue this throughout because I think it is really making a difference.
No, it will actually make a difference because at some point of time, I see that a broker who has time and wants to go revisit and see what Samir Arora has done, or somebody like Amit Chugh has done, or Sumit Reddy has done. Then it will give me a perspective. So that way,
And when you are stuck and you just go through this, it is like I think I personally feel it is better than going to Harvard and doing some course for short term. I think this is giving more insight as far as our business is concerned.
Correct.
And moving forward, we are bringing a lot of new things every season. So
this is like a friend of mine who told me that he had also done 2 MBAs. I think the first MBA he did from Cardiff, from Tuxedo. I think the second he did from Cardiff. I also did 2 MBAs.
Yes.
So he said, Shiva, why did you do the second MBA? So मैं बोला first MBA तो I college गया था, तो college के बाहर ही था. दूसरे MBA तो I told him it was very different.
Yes.
So he said, I asked him, why did you do? He said, first MBA I was also outside class. Second MBA also was outside class, but from a different perspective.
Great. I think we'll start.
Absolutely, no problem.
Thank you. नमस्कार दोस्तों, एक बार फिर आप सबका स्वागत है ब्रोकर की पाठशाला में. आज ब्रोकर की पाठशाला की यात्रा जा चुकी है साउथ इंडिया एट कोयम्बटूर इन तमिलनाडु. कोयम्बटूर it is called Manchester City of South India. It is famous for textiles. So it's a great privilege for me to invite today a very young and dynamic, a fresh, refreshing, face from the Coimbatore, my dear friend Shiva Kumar. Shiva, thank you very much for being there.
Thank you, Vinod Bhaiya. It's always a pleasure to interact with you. And I've always been wanting to be on Broker Ki Pathshala. So, abhi to aap bula liye.
Kya baat hai. So Naishobri, Shiva is right now on the way to his office from registration of some land in Coimbatore. मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि एक live shoot हो रहा है और जैसे ground से live somebody is reporting us from Coimbatore. So I am feeling that I am right now on some news channel and interacting with my colleague from NIR India. So Shiva, you must be aware that every session we start, before that we pray to God and do some prayer. So I request everyone to please join with me for the prayer. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Para Brahma, Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Sarvepi Sukhina Santu, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kashit Dukhma Pyumat. Om Sahana Bhavatu, Sahano Bhunaktu, सह वीर्यं करवावहे तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहे। ओम शांति शांति शांति। Thank you, friends, and once again, good evening. I am Vinod Thakkar, founder and CEO of Square Fit India. आप सबका ब्रोकर की पाठशाला में सीजन 3 में, and we are on session 29th. I must thank each one of you for your kind love and appreciation. I think it's a journey. It is not going to stop till I am alive. I am enjoying. I am sure you all are getting some good knowledge, good friendship, good networking through Broker Ki Pathshala. And what an opportunity, what an absolute opportunity for all of us. Every week we are visiting new city, we are visiting new person, we are visiting and getting to have insight of someone's journey which has made them what they are today. Yes, my friend, today we are having with us a very young and dynamic, very lively, ever smiling, enthusiastic realtor from Coimbatore, my dear friend, Realtor Shiva Kumar. Shiva, once again, thank you very much to be part of this wonderful initiative, Broker Ki Pathshala. So, now everybody knows that you are on the road, driving towards your office in Coimbatore. But before we jump into the profession which you are into, let everybody know that where are you from? You know, are you from Coimbatore or you born somewhere else? And how did you came to Coimbatore and your childhood, your schooling? Friends, we might get some issue with the signal because he's on the road right now. Please bear with us for another 10-15 minutes by the time he reaches to his office.
For all.
Yes, Shiva, please carry
Yeah,
on.
yeah, sorry, my apologies. I
Absolutely
think
no problem. Yeah,
technology is not supporting us.
I can understand, no problem.
Vinod bhaiya, I could hear your question and you asked me where am I from. So first thing I
Yes.
want to tell you is Coimbatore is known as Manchester of South India. But
Yeah.
the similarity, you know, there's a similarity between Coimbatore, Mumbai and Ahmedabad.
Wow.
We are known as the ABC of India. You know why?
ABC.
ABC, Ahmedabad, Bombay and Coimbatore.
क्या बात है?
So we are all in textiles. Coimbatore is famous for textiles, Bombay for textiles, Ahmedabad for textiles. So we were known as the ABC of India.
Very
Now
good.
coming back to where am I from? I am from a small town called Nemmara, which is close to Palgad. It's in Kerala. It's about 40 kilometers, 50 kilometers away from Coimbatore. And my father moved here about 40, 50 years back, and that's how we settled here in Coimbatore. But I'm basically from Palghat, which is close by from Coimbatore. That's my hometown.
शिवा, ये जो आपके नाम में ये साउथ इंडियन में the beauty of India is every state and every small town has some different story and the history attached to it, and that's the beauty
Correct.
of diversity of our country. So ये आपका जो नाम है शिवा कुमार CR, तो उसका मीनिंग क्या है? आप जरा बताएंगे उसके बारे में?
So my name is Shivakumar Charyat Ravi Kumar.
हाँ.
So the C stands for my family name, which is, the interesting thing about family name is in Kerala, in our side, what we do is we follow a matriarchal society. So I imbibe the name from my mother's family. So my mother's family name is Charyat. So I take it forward. My father's name is Ravi Kumar. So it's Charyat Ravi Kumar Shivakumar. That's my name. So I think similarly in India, if you see, I think in Meghalaya, you have a tribe that follows the same thing like us, follow the mother's lineage. So that's how my name is Shivakumar Sia.
So I think आजकल हम बहुत सारी जगह पे सुनते हैं विमेन एम्पावरमेंट की बात सुनते हैं, तो मुझे लगता है आपका जो फैमिली है या आपका जो गांव है, और जैसा आपने मेघालय की बात की कि जहाँ पे मदर के नाम से आपका मतलब आपके बाद तुरंत पहले मदर की फैमिली का नाम आता है, I think
Correct.
you,
In Kerala, yeah, in Kerala, the Nair community.
uh,
They do this. They do this. Yeah.
so I think you guys should be given a opportunity to become the brand ambassador of women empowerment. कि भैया ये आप लोग क्या बात कर रहे हो, ये तो सदियों से चला आ रहा है. So तो उसका मतलब ये जो आपका जो जनरेशन है, वो जनरेशन
Yeah.
आपका जनरेशन, तो उसमें
Yeah.
विमेन इज मोर इम्पोर्टेंट आपका जनरेशन जैसे वो कंटिन्यू करने के लिए.
बहुत सही है, बहुत सही है. मेरी तो इसमें क्या है ना, हमारे यहाँ पे क्या है, तो वन थिंग इज, जब अगर तुम हमारे परिवार में मैं और मेरे बड़े भाई, अगर हम दोनों के बगैर यहाँ पे एक लड़की होती थी,
हाँ,
तो she would have carried forward this generation.
वाह क्या बात है. This is a wonderful information. I have got 2 daughters, so I'm definitely going to share this incidents, this information with
So
my.
I have a daughter. My
Very
daughter
good.
will carry this. She'll carry her mother's lineage.
Correct. Correct. Great. I think that's a great thing. So then you came to you were born in that village, but then you came. Your father was in Coimbatore.
Yeah.
So आपकी family में कौन है? You are 2 brothers.
Yeah, I have an elder brother. That's it. My mother and my father. Yeah.
Great. So your father, what was he doing?
So my father, he's a lawyer by profession, and he used to work with the Life Insurance Corporation of India until 1999. He retired in 1999, and he was also the legal advisor to the Life Insurance Corporation of India. And he was situated in Coimbatore. He never took a transfer. He was always in Coimbatore.
Great. So I think somewhere हम लोग ये देख रहे हैं जो जनरेशन आपका जनरेशन एक जो चेंज आ रहा है. So your father's generation, they were always very, very loyal to one organization throughout the life. They stay there, get retired,
Perfect.
and they have a wonderful story to tell also. To the
Correct.
next
You're
generation.
absolutely right.
Yeah, and when we unfold your story, people will know that in your generation how many different jobs and business you are doing as your generation. You can't stick to one particular place for more than certain time, and I'm sure even after your generation they are completely different. So, how was your schooling days and what you did during the school time and college time?
The questions about schooling, right?
Yes, आपके schooling वगैरह कहाँ कोयम्बतूर में हुई and how was those experience मतलब if you can share few incidents of your schools.
I studied in an all boys school.
Wow.
So there are only one or two schools like that in Coimbatore. The school was called Kamal Garden Matriculation. It's still called Kamal Garden Matriculation.
Okay.
But अभी तो सुन रहा हूँ कि वो कोएड बन गया. अभी 4-5 साल हो गया मेरे. I think if I'm right, my memory says they have become a co-ed.
But अगर नहीं बनेगा तो स्कूल चलेगा नहीं अभी.
हाँ वो सही है.
आज के जमाने में अगर कोई एजुकेशन नहीं होगा तो स्कूल चलेगा नहीं अभी. All boys, nobody will go there.
Correct. So in our generation, I think all boys was okay. So there are only 2 schools in Coimbatore which is all boys predominantly. Okay. Yeah, metric
so
school.
Till what standard you were in this all boys school? Till what standard?
Till 12th standard.
12th standard.
LKG to 12. हाँ.
Oh, it would have been very difficult. मतलब आपके आसपास में कोई गर्ल्स स्कूल थे कि नहीं?
हाँ, तो मतलब 500 मीटर के यहाँ पे I think we had one girls school. So, but it was fun, studying in an all boys school is always fun.
Absolutely. And I believe there was some system in your school that कुछ marks जिसको ज़्यादा आता था उसका fees वगैरह नहीं रहता था. What was that?
So in our school, what happened is, if you ask me about my education, and in our school, it's very different. If somebody scores 60% and above, they don't have to write the annual exam. This was applicable to everybody. So midterm, quarterly, half yearly, and second midterm में अगर 60% के ऊपर आप मार्क ले लेते हैं तो आपको ये एनुअल एग्जाम लिखने का ये नहीं था. तो you were exempted from writing it. और एक और चीज था, हमारे क्लास में अगर हम फर्स्ट रैंक आते थे तो हमारे यहाँ पे 3 कक्ष थे. एक क्लास में 3 सेक्शंस थे. तो ये तीनों सेक्शंस में अगर आप टॉप करते हैं मार्क से, अगले साल में आपको फीस नहीं भरना है.
और आपने वो 8th स्टैंडर्ड तक किया. आपको 8th स्टैंडर्ड तक कोई फीस नहीं भरने को आया.
If I remember, up to 7th, 8th, I think I didn't.
Amazing, yeah.
I didn't top. Yeah. So up to 7th was like that.
So, friends, please understand, all these things what Shiva is doing today in real estate is coming from where? This is coming from school time. So, what happened? वो 8th के बाद में आपका ध्यान किधर मतलब कोई गर्ल्स स्कूल के आसपास घूमते थे कि what happened? Why your
No,
marks went down?
nothing like that. So after 8th is when real exposure starts. When you
Yeah.
get into your 13,
Yes.
thoda natkad ban gaya main. And I started playing cricket. So that was one thing that took time out. And then I used to roam around a lot with friends. So that also took a lot of time out. And there was one funny incident in school, if I remember. So I think it was in 10th standard. So it was the first time in the history of my academic career I scored 2 on 200. In my
Sorry?
first, I scored 2 marks on 200.
Out of 200, you got only 2 marks.
2. That was my first midterm, and that was a shock for everybody in the school.
Even for me now, when I'm listening to you.
And my master at that point of time, he whacked me 198 times.
Wow.
And he said, "You will never pass." So I gave him a challenge. I said, I will pass. I will also take 200 on 200.
Wow.
And I took 200 on 200 in my 10th standard.
Wow. क्या बात है, क्या बात है.
So, पढ़ाई कर सकते थे, लेकिन the problem is a lot of distraction used to be there then.
So how you did that? मतलब एक तो ये होने के बाद what happened that moment that night when such kind of thing happens in everybody's life. But how did you respond to that? What you did?
I've always believed that one thing I've always believed that I was good at maths and good at maths. This is one thing that I've always believed. But I've also had this thought process that there is nothing that you can't not do. So whether it is scoring 200 on 200 or cracking exams in one shot, which happened in my college, we'll speak about that. I'm sure you will speak about that also. So it's always there in me that all of us can do everything. It's not that, but we don't attempt to it. This is what I think.
And what was your parents' response when you got 2 out of 200? I think parents must be.
My mother must have cried inside. She must have not shown it outside, because my mother and father, they strongly believe academics is something that makes a difference in anyone's life.
Absolutely.
Because you come from middle class family, so you need to excel, and to excel, marks are the only thing that will, at that point in time, that was the only thing that will hold you. Today you don't have to like आजकल के जमाने में जो पढ़ा हुआ है और जिसने स्कूल नहीं गया, उन दोनों के बीच फर्क है टैलेंट. अगर आपके पास टैलेंट है तो आपको यूं ही काम मिल जाएगा. तो that is there now. उस जमाने में नहीं था ना, 20 साल पहले, 22 साल पहले. और आपके जमाने में तो जरूर मार्कशीट ही आपके रेज्यूमे था.
Very true. So and then where did you did your college from?
So there's this college called PSG College of Technology in Coimbatore. It is a famous engineering college. So I didn't study engineering. I studied BSc Applied Sciences. BSc Applied Sciences is a course for somebody who does not get 97% and you are, you belong to the open category. And if you score 95% or 94%, you may not get a free seat then for engineering. So
and you did not get that in 12th, you got some 94.5%.
I got 94.2 and I had to get 95. I didn't get it. So I failed to get a free seat.
Sir, हमारे जमाने में तो 62% में engineering में मिल जाता था.
So that is, आपके जमाने का 60 और हमारे जमाने का 90 was equivalent, right? So that happened, and I had to study BSc Applied Science.
Okay.
But BSc Applied Science is generally a course that bridges science and engineering. So it has all 3 majors: maths, physics, and chemistry. So in my class, if you see, we had the best of best brains who could do maths, physics, and chemistry. Yeah.
So how was your college education, Madhu? You also must be doing a lot of cricket then. Once college is different from school,
Yeah. So before getting into college, before getting into engineering, after my 12, I had a short stint to the army. So I did something called as a 10+2 PCM.
Ah, friends, please bear with us for some time. There's some signal problem is on the way to the office.
Vinod, can you hear?
Yeah. Please, please. You reach the office. Good, chalo. Fantastic.
Yeah, I reached the office.
Yeah, relax. Now it will be better. Great. So there is no distraction now.
So the thing is,
You were planning for army. Go ahead.
yeah. So the thing is, I was, I think, 10+2 PCM. That's when it got disconnected.
Yeah.
So we do maths, physics, chemistry as major there,
Correct.
and I was there with them for a period of 6 months.
Ah,
My palms and my feet sweat.
okay.
So what happens in the army is very important that you do the exercises very regularly.
Yes,
So
sir.
that's bridge crawling, rope climbing, and all that.
Correct.
So I was not able to do that. So they said, get a medical certificate and come. I couldn't get a medical certificate. No doctor is going to give you this is not a medical ailment.
Yeah.
So I was asked to leave the army under personal reasons. So I left that and then joined PSC.
So, but what was the inspiration for you to join army? Was there any incidents or anybody from your family?
I've always wanted to be a cop or an army officer. That was there because you watch some movies then and then you get inspired. But then this particular thing in the army was a strategic course. So you finish this, then you get into strategy in army. So that's how I tried, but I couldn't go through. And we had a funny incident then at that point of time.
Yeah.
So I had our chief was a man who'd always smoke. So my chest number was 34.
Ah.
So before me was a Sardarji.
Ah.
So what he would do the rope climbing and the bridge crawling exercises in 1 hour.
Ah.
He would repeat it at least 20, 30 times.
Oh.
And he always wanted his, everybody wanted to see him. So he'd do it really well. But the other exercises he wouldn't. So he was not called for. My chest number is 34. So in the army, what they do is they will only call the numbers that have got selected because they don't want to demotivate others.
True.
So this boy's name was not called. His chest number was not called. So he actually felt bad for it. So he immediately stood up and asked my chief, sir, I did the rope climbing and bridge crawling or whatever so many times. And why am I not selected? So our chief said, we need gentlemen and not monkeys. So that's the kind of thing they teach you in the army. It was real fun for me at that point. But then, okay, I mean, I had to leave. So I was asked to leave for personal reasons. And then I joined BSc Applied Science.
So BSc में
BSc Applied Science. Sorry?
BSc में क्या हो गया फिर? How was the college? आपका cricket continue रहा होगा फिर?
So very interestingly, in 99 is when I think, 99, correct. So I was trying to play, but then I could understand that it was the umpire who called shots there in cricket. So in 99, I gave a shot at my umpiring. And I became the youngest umpire in the state then. So I cleared my umpiring exams in 99. And I started doing umpiring. So I did umpiring for St. Peter's Trophy, which is much before the Ranji Trophy. So I used to do that. And I had I think 11 or 12 papers, out of which I failed in all papers except English in my first year.
So college में मतलब वापिस वो fail होने का सिलसिला
वाह,
शुरू. So your
सिलसिला शुरू
focus
हो
is
गया.
it. So was there only cricket responsible की girlfriends?
No, the problem is college जाते जाते मेरा दिल बढ़ गया. I
अच्छा.
have a large heart and I love heart attacks. So I fell in love. It's not that I didn't fall in love. So I fell in love first with the college,
Then with the girl.
then with the yeah. So that happened, and after that, cricket happened. I was involved in a lot of other co-curricular activities.
Yeah.
By the time I reached my second year, out of I think 18 papers or something, I had 17 areas.
17 areas.
Third year,
पास हो गए 18 में से.
third year, I think I had some 21 or 22 areas.
Excellent. I think, friends, you must see the kind of twist coming in Shiva's life. Someone till 8th who was always the first ranker, and all the 3 exemptions he got, and then there are some different story, 2 out of 200, then again 200 out of 200. I think he's a real champion, and he's somebody still even today. Everyone will fall in love with you, boss. The way you think, the way you do things, and the perspective towards the life.
So third year, Vinod.
What happened to third year?
Third year, Vinod Bhaiya, I cleared all my areas in one shot.
Yeah.
With 80%.
Wow. Amazing. So मतलब आपने third year stop कर दिया कि no girlfriend, only study.
No. See, that had to happen parallel. प्यार तो प्यार है, जिंदगी तो जिंदगी है, परीक्षा तो परीक्षा है.
Very good. So, how many girlfriends you had during your school and college time? School though you were all boys, so there were not much chance.
अभी COVID के जमाना है ना, तो I have to tell you this answer. Before wedding, before marriage, I had 16. After marriage, I had only 1.
Wow, amazing. So your wife is out of that 16, or it is completely different, arranged marriage?
Before COVID, after COVID, so arranged marriage.
I hope she is listening today, and I'm sure
she knows all of them.
Yeah, you are someone. You are like a transparent, glass. That is what I love about you. When I met first, I really appreciate the way you, put things in perspective.
आपनी जिंदगी तो 3 पन्ना ही है. बस. You open the 3 pages, my life is over.
Correct.
School, college, and work. That's it. College was interesting. I'll tell you that. It's an interesting thing. I think most of them should know.
Yes.
I had only one area. Okay, so I cleared all my exams. Only one area was there. It was a mathematics paper. So I had a tiff with my professor then in my second year. So my professor intentionally said this fellow should not pass. So I would always fail. So I had actually got through an institute called Indian Institute of Foreign Trade. So I had my interview there, but I had one paper a year. So I had to go back to my professor and request him saying, sir, please help. But he was not willing to help. What I did, I started a signature campaign in my college, where whoever had one arrear, irrespective of whichever year he was, and he was in the final year, they should be given an immediate examination.
Correct.
Like instead of waiting for the next year.
True.
So it's called a special supplementary exam.
True.
So I got signatures from about 400 odd people, I think, that year, and some 180 or 190 of us passed.
Wow.
I also got passed that year, but whether you had 80% or 82%, you would only get second grade. You were second class. Yeah. So that happened for me.
Excellent. Yeah. So I don't think somebody will ever think that Shiva was the youngest umpire in cricket. I think how can somebody think about, you are the first person in my entire life with whom I have come across and who says I love, to do umpiring, because he is somebody who is the godlike, who he takes the decision. But in today's world, technology is the empire, Even if empire says something, you have that opportunity to go back to the technology. So you must have met some Indian cricket player during your journey as an umpire.
When I used to umpire for St. Peter's, I think I have done one match where Hemang Badani and Robin Singh were playing.
Hemang Badani, yeah. And Robin?
And Robin Singh.
Robin Singh, both lefty.
And
both are.
And Robin Singh used to be a hard hitter, and he was a right-hand bowler.
Right-hand bowler, but left-hand. I think he someone who started, that six, जिस तरीके से उसने लास्ट में आके वो बोलते हैं ना, वो हार्ड हिटिंग बंदा आके पट 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 रन मारता था.
Ah,
In
and
Indian team,
Hemang Badani was a brilliant player.
absolutely, absolutely. Great. I think amazing friends. We are getting a lot of insight from our young friend Shiva's life story. So what happened then after your graduation? What was your plan? What you wanted to do then?
After I wanted to cross the road
वाह क्या बात है.
क्योंकि हमारे कॉलेज के एकदम ऑपोजिट में हमारे इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ मैनेजमेंट चलता था. So I moved to do my MBA there.
Wow.
So I did my master's program in international business.
Ah.
So it was in tie-up with the Indian Institute of Foreign Trade. So I did a specialization in marketing and logistics. That happened because I tried at IIFT, I couldn't crack because of my arrears. So I joined the college, this college, and there's another institute called Geetam Institute in Vizag and IIFT. These are three colleges that offer you this course.
Ah.
So I joined this course. 2 years, again, co-curricular. Exams was very less. For 2 years, I actually got placed in Lifestyle International. I didn't take up the job.
Uh-huh.
So 2 years went on really well. My college days are actually very fun. So everybody's college days is like that. But I have had various experiences. So that was very nice.
Great. So then, what was your first job? What did you think about कि आप जो ये कर रहे हैं international business with a specific idea in mind that if I do this course, I am going to get job in this particular area of life?
No, Vinod bhai, I'll tell you an interesting incident that happened in my life that actually changed perspective. So I happened to intern with the Indian Tobacco Company. This is the ITC.
ITC.
So I happened to do I was joining them as management trainee, and in Chennai.
Okay.
So they only take people from good B schools, like IIMs. That's from where people go. I had the opportunity. I went there. I joined them as a management trainee in the Agarbatti division. So I was handling, yeah.
Okay.
So my first day, if you see, what I want to tell here is I was also a city-bred, city-grown boy, but my exposure was limited at that point in time. My exposure was limited to cricket, having fun in college and school and all that. But my exposure to the outside world is very limited. So I had this interview in Chennai, and my then CEO of ITC of the Agarbatti division, VM Rajshekharan. I don't know whether sir remembers me, but sir is like one of the gurus to me, and he actually guided me a lot. And I used to observe him patiently. He would not know it. The first day of my interview, Vinod Bhaiya, I called him and I asked him where the office is. So he gave me an address. I went to a wrong address. There I was late. So he said, you come by 10:30, otherwise no interview. I reached somehow by 10:30. My wallet was missing. I lost my bag. I didn't know where I was. I was sweating, and I was not in a proper dress. I was not formally dressed for the occasion. I had my interview and I went in tears. I started crying. So I don't know what he saw in me. He gave me 500 rupees and said, you keep this. You go first, eat, finish, and come. Take a break. Don't worry. Nothing to worry.
Great.
And then next day onwards, he started treating me like one of his children or student or something like that. By the time I was out of that institute, I came out. I chose to come out. It was not I was asked to go or something like that. I had learned pretty much everything in international business and how to export one consignment of Agarbatti to Singapore. That's why we did. But Rajshekharan sir was great. He actually gave me like
कितना महीना काम किया आपने वहाँ पे?
5.5 से 6 महीना. That's it.
6 महीने में आपको जो एक्सपोर्ट का था तो लॉजिस्टिक और ये सारी चीज का काफी एक्सपीरियंस मिला आपको.
हाँ, तो he sent me. I came to Bombay to the World Trade Center.
अरे वाह.
Yeah, वहाँ पे I'll tell you, in the 34th floor, there's a lady who used to sit. Her name is Maru Clubwala.
Wow.
Okay, she would give data to you that would tell you from which port what exports go out.
Yes.
So that data she would give. So I had come then. So there was a lot of exposure that VM Rajshekharan sir gave me, and I still owe him a lot. So I wanted to move out of Chennai because I felt Chennai was getting too much. I wanted to come back to Coimbatore. So I quit and I came to Coimbatore.
So then with what mission you came back to Coimbatore?
Mission was Mission Coimbatore.
Mission Coimbatore.
So I came back to Coimbatore and I joined ICICI Prudential.
ICC Prudential, okay.
Yeah, as a unit manager.
हाँ.
So this is like अपने LIC में होता है ना, business development manager बोलते हैं. तो
Yes.
हमारे यहाँ पे टीम होता है, वो टीम जाके इंश्योरेंस बेचते हैं.
Correct.
तो वैसे ICICI Prudential में हम भी ज्वाइन किए. तो वहाँ पे हमारे एक टीम था, वो टीम के माध्यम से हमको इंश्योरेंस पॉलिसी बेचना था.
क्या?
तो वहाँ पे भी हम 1 साल 1.5 साल के लिए काम किए. और I think after that I joined the BPL Mobile.
तो आपने इंश्योरेंस कितना बेचा? आई थिंक वो इंश्योरेंस की वजह से आपकी हिंदी इतनी अच्छी है. अदरवाइज साउथ इंडियन और कोयम्बटूर से किसी को बोलो इतनी अच्छी स्पष्ट हिंदी, कुछ वर्ड्स तो आप इतने अच्छे बोलते हो कि दूसरे को भी समझ में आता है कि यार इतना हिंदी अच्छा कैसे बोल लेता है बंदा.
हिंदी तो दो मतलब जिंदगी में दो चीज है. एक हमारी सेकंड भाषा तो है हिंदी. स्कूल में जब हम पढ़ रहे थे तो हिंदी थी.
हाँ.
और दूसरा हिंदी में मतलब इतना मतलब आजकल तो मेरा हिंदी बहुत, मैं सोच रहा हूँ कि इतना भी काफी अच्छा नहीं है जो पुराने जमाने में था मेरा. हाँ, मैंने हिंदी में प्रवीण पूर्वाध एग्जाम जो है वो खत्म किया है.
अरे वाह.
अगर आप ये दक्षिण भारत हिंदी प्रचार जो सभा जो है वो परीक्षा कंडक्ट करते हैं हिंदी का, प्राथमिक माध्यम राष्ट्रभाषा. तो मैंने प्रवीण पूर्वाध जो उनका लास्ट एग्जाम है वो खत्म किया है. वो मैंने खत्म किया था अपनी 10वीं कक्षा के पहले.
ओह, तो आपका फाउंडेशन बहुत मजबूत है वो.
हाँ, तो इसलिए हिंदी का तो मतलब थोड़ा बहुत स्पष्टता है.
नहीं अच्छा है, मतलब वेरी नाइस. आई एंजॉय योर हिंदी. और कुछ लोगों को तो बहुत अच्छा लगता होगा, यू नो. जनरली आप तमिलनाडु और हिंदी को मतलब कंप्लीटली डिफरेंट है. बहुत एक्सपेक्टेशन नहीं रखना चाहिए आदमी ने हिंदी का.
बट आई टेल यू व्हाट, आई हैव टू टेल यू दिस. इन तमिलनाडु में क्या है ना, जब हमारे यहाँ के एक मुख्यमंत्री थे, उनका नाम है अन्नादुरै. जब वो पार्लियामेंट गए थे, संसद गए थे, तो वहां पे सब लोग बोल रहे थे कि हिंदी को हमारी मातृभाषा बनाना चाहिए. तो यू नो तमिलनाडु वी ओपोज हिंदी वेहीमेंटली. तो यू शुड अंडरस्टैंड द लॉजिक ही हैड. तो उन्होंने पूछा हमारी राष्ट्र पक्षी कौन सी है. ठीक है. तो सब लोग बोले मोरनी. उन्होंने बोला कि देखिए आप बोल रहे हैं कि हिंदी को हमारी मातृभाषा बनाना है क्योंकि ज्यादा से ज्यादातर लोग हिंदी बात करते हैं, लेकिन हमारी भारत में जो है कौवे ज्यादा होते हैं कि मोरनी ज्यादा होते हैं. तो फिर मोरनी को क्यों हमने राष्ट्र पक्षी बनाया, कौवे को क्यों नहीं बनाया? So it's a very valid argument he had then, and but you know everybody, politics is different, this is different. But एक भाषा जो है, you know, you have to learn, you have to enjoy the भाषा. अगर हमें पता है, you know, I know Hindi, I know Tamil, I know Telugu, I know Malayalam. ये पूरी भाषाओं में जो you know उनकी जो characteristics है, if I'm able to take it out, then life is different.
और सेकेंडली हर एक भाषा की अपनी एक मिठास है. और कुछ जो शब्द है वो आप उसी भाषा में बोलेंगे तो ही उसका इम्पैक्ट आता है.
Absolutely, सही
भाषा में इम्पैक्ट नहीं आएंगे.
Absolutely.
So great. फिर वहां से फिर आपने बीपीएल के अंदर आपने सिम कार्ड भी बेचे.
हाँ, सिम कार्ड भी. We used to sell air. हमारे बॉस बोलते थे कि you're selling air. So I used to do postpaid sales. I was a channel head for postpaid sales करता था यहाँ पे. तो यहाँ पे तमिलनाडु को दो में बांटते थे, एक रेस्ट ऑफ तमिलनाडु, दूसरी चेन्नई. चेन्नई एक अलग मार्केट था, रेस्ट ऑफ तमिलनाडु अलग. मैं रेस्ट ऑफ तमिलनाडु में काम करता था. वहां पे भी हम ब्रिलियंट. इट्स यू नो यू आर ऑन द रोड, यू हैव नो नेटवर्क. जब मैं आ रहा था कार में तभी वही चीज थी. 2002 में भी वही चीज थी. आज तो डेटा का प्रॉब्लम है, उस समय तो वॉइस का प्रॉब्लम. BPL didn't have enough networks then, but we still had to sell SIM cards, and it was a big fight, day in and day out. You know, you were like अपनी मतलब 10 जमाने की गाली मिलती. हमारे bosses से. So it taught you a lot. So that was great. I had a direct sales team of about 100, 120
Oh,
direct sales team members there. We had about, if you put together all my channel partners, we had about 200, 260 telecallers. So it was fantastic. It was fun.
आई थिंक कभी कभी मैं देखता हूँ ना कि आज इंसान आज आप जहाँ पे है और जो कर रहे हैं काम रियल एस्टेट में, ये सारी जो आपके स्कूल से लेके कॉलेज से लेके जो फर्स्ट जॉब सेकंड जॉब ये जो भी एक्टिविटी आपने की है उस टाइम पे, वो सारी चीजें का जो एक्सपीरियंस है वो तो आपको अभी बहुत काम में आता होगा, बिकॉज यही तो हम करते हैं रियल एस्टेट में. यू हैव टीम एंड यू हैव कॉल सेंटर एंड यू नो हाउ टू मोटिवेट पीपल. सो दैट लर्निंग इज रियली वेरी वेरी, आपका फाउंडेशन एकदम मजबूत हो गया.
सही है विनोद भाई. आई थिंक इन लाइफ देयर इज योर फर्स्ट स्टेज ऑफ लाइफ जब स्कूल है, अगर इफ यू गेट अ गुड टीचर, एक अच्छा गुरु आपको मिल जाता है, तो आपकी जिंदगी में आपकी शिक्षा के जो प्लेन है दैट विल बी वेरी डिफरेंट. द एजुकेशन पाथ दैट यू विल चूज बी वेरी डिफरेंट. इफ यू गो टू कॉलेज एंड you get a good teacher there, your orientation of the next higher level of education is taken care. If you go to work and you get a good boss,
Yes.
you will know how to lead life. So I think if you had good bosses, then you will definitely become one good boss.
And how about friends? Because friends are most important people during the school college time के जो, because it is said कि आप वैसे ही बनते हैं जैसे लोगों के आसपास आप साथ में घूमते हैं उस जमाने में.
Correct. So I've had a lot of friends, but I also believe somebody was telling me that those who have many friends have none. Somebody told me this, but I believe in a totally different way. I believe that those who have many friends,
Yes.
I have nothing to worry because everything is taken care. So I've had a lot of friends, and a few of them are very, very close to me from college. We've traveled together. And today our business partners, we are also good friends. We were good
Yes.
friends. We've become business partners now. So friends, yeah, I would not deny. I had many. I still have many, and I keep making friends every day. So
Absolutely. I think that is the best relationship which has no expectation. That relationship is completely different. I
Absolutely.
personally feel that the relation of friends is the highest in terms of relationship, in terms
Correct.
of respect, in terms of everything. बाकी सारे जो रिलेशन है उसमें कहाँ फोर्सिबली है, you can't choose your parents, you can't choose your brothers and sisters, but you have freedom to choose your friend.
Brilliant. You're right.
That is something which is very very different. So then what happened? आप बीपीएल के सिम कार्ड से फिर आगे स्टोरी कैसे चली आपकी जर्नी?
तो BPL की SIM card के बाद I happened to meet somebody who wanted to do a real estate project in Coimbatore.
But before that you started also some training program.
So from BPL when I quit, I quit BPL because I was looking at a promotion. BPL was acquired by Hutch then. So I was looking at a promotion, but my promotion got delayed. तो उबलता हुआ खून था तो बोले चलो रिजाइन करो. रिजाइन कर लिया. I started a training company. I believe that outbound training जो माध्यम है, ट्रेनिंग का माध्यम है, अगर उसको आप बाहर से शिक्षा करेंगे तो that will be very good. So I, along with a friend of mine, we started a company called Masterstroke, which was into training.
Wow, what a name, yeah.
So
cricket से आया लगता है.
Yeah, but the name was coined by another friend of us, and we all obliged to it.
Yes.
And it was a brilliant company. We used to take children to places like Ooty, Wayanad, and all that, and then train them. So it was a complete 2-day outbound training program. The children come out, they learn from field, and they learn from inside class also. This is what happens.
So what kind of training? What kind of subject you were training?
So what we would essentially teach them is soft skills. And in soft skills, we would teach them the importance of verbal and non-verbal communication. Like हम एक गेम खेलते थे, वहां पे जो एक पहाड़ रहता था, वो पहाड़ के ऊपर चढ़ना था. तो हम टीम्स को बनाएंगे. टीम्स में एक अंधा आदमी रहेगा, एक गूंगा आदमी रहेगा, और एक आदमी रहेगा जिसका मतलब who can't hear. There'll be a deaf person. So 3 persons will form a team. One blind person, one dumb person, and a deaf person. तो ये तीनों को पहाड़ पे ऊपर चढ़ना है. ऐसे 5-6 टीम हो गए. और ये तीनों को क्या करना है, ये अपने हाथ पकड़ के चल के, they can't go. They can't go holding their hands. और आपस में बात नहीं करना है, और कोई प्रॉपर्टी को यूज करके उसको पकड़ के भी ऊपर नहीं चलना है. इसके बगैर आपको ऊपर चढ़ना है. How would you do that? This used to be our lesson. So some of them didn't know how to do. तो हम बोलते थे कि आप एक क्लैप मारोगे तो राइट साइड, 2 क्लैप मारोगे तो लेफ्ट साइड, एंड 3 क्लैप मारोगे तो एक डीला है सामने तो रोको. तो वैसे योर लाइफ could be taught without words.
साइंड एंड कम्युनिकेशन ज्यादा करके आर्मी में ये सब चीज
हाँ, so this is the importance of sign language, and we also ask children to fall from a certain height कि बाकी जो टीम लोग रहते थे हाँ उनको पकड़ लेंगे. तो that will create trust, faith and all that. So that we would do. This used to be done in 2005 types, 2004-5 types. Yeah.
So I think this is amazing, you know. मुझे लगता है कुछ बातें हम में कॉमन आ रही है, ऐसा लग रहा है आपका स्टोरी सुन के. बिकॉज मेरा भी सपना ऐसा है कि ब्रोकर की पाठशाला जो है उसको ऐसे लोनली एरिया में, वर्जिन एरिया में मुझे जाके ऐसी जगह बनानी है, इंस्टीट्यूट, फिजिकल इंस्टीट्यूट की, जहाँ पे लोग आके 3 दिन 4 दिन रह के ऐसे आउटबाउंड में बैठ के, गार्डन है कुछ, यू नो, नेचर के साथ में बैठ के इंटरेक्शन करके, शेयरिंग करके हम रियल एस्टेट बिजनेस कैसे सिखा सकते हैं नेक्स्ट जनरेशन को. क्योंकि अभी जिस तरीके से हमारी लाइफ चल रही है, वी आर कंप्लीटली डिपेंडेंट ऑन द टेक्नोलॉजी. मतलब हमारा क्रिएटिविटी, इनोवेशन सब स्पेशली मेट्रो सिटी में तो खत्म हो गया, मैं बोलता हूँ.
सही है.
So that is what I am also dreaming about. I hope we can do that one day, you know.
No, you've always given me inspiration when you when I think we had this conversation in one of the airports. I don't remember.
Yes, airport. We had very good interaction for almost 2 hours.
Correct. That's when you told me.
We became close, you know.
That's when you told me you wanted to do this. So that's when I thought, okay, this is a man who wants to give back to the society.
Absolutely.
आप जितना भी सोसाइटी को दे रहे हैं, भगवान आपको देगा. So that is there. No? How much ever you give, God will give you back. So you don't have to worry.
True. So वो फिर वहाँ से फिर आगे रियल एस्टेट में कैसे एंट्री मिली?
So that is a very interesting incident. I met a gentleman on a flight. And तो मैं, his name is Dr. Qatar Masad. He used to be the advisor to the Crown Prince of Ras Al Khaimah, and he wanted to do an ambitious project of 1,000 acres in Coimbatore.
1,000 acre.
Yeah, real estate.
Wow.
Yeah. So he wanted to set it up, and we were on the same flight. Incidentally, I was sitting next to him, and we had a conversation, and he kind of liked me. I don't know why. So उन्होंने बोला कि चलो आप ज्वाइन करेंगे. So I said okay, ज्वाइन करेंगे. उसमें क्या नया रोल, नई चीज. And we started, and I had a good friend of ours, a family friend of ours, who was here in Coimbatore, who kind of also authenticated for my position there.
Yes.
So we started off. I started off my real estate career then. I think it was in 2005. So end 2005, beginning 2006. That's when I started real estate.
So I think this is a very good point for all the viewers and the brokers, that whenever you are traveling as a broker, you should be very, very lively person. You should never miss such kind of opportunity when you are traveling, maybe someone sitting next to you. Don't forget to say hello and who you are, you know. I think sometimes the biggest opportunity of your life can come from such travel. Not necessarily only in flight, but wherever you are, however you are going, you know. I think this is called a real networking.
You're absolutely right. I completely agree. And so that started off. So, it was a big project. It's a project of about $1.5 billion.
Wow.
Way back in 2005, 2006. And I don't think Lavasa was also on that. So it was a great project, an ambitious project. And they wanted to replicate the integrated golf township then. And they wanted to bring in the concept of work from home then.
Wow.
So Ras Al Khaimah is one of the states in UAE. UAE is actually 7 states.
Correct.
Dubai, Sharjah, Al Quwain, Fujairah, Ras Al Khaimah. So if you see, all of this was a part of that thing. The RAC Investment Authority, RACIA, had come up to do this project along with our Indian partners called Trinex then. So this is a great project. We started off well. I had to interact with the central government for FDI clearances, for economic approvals, So there's something called Cabinet of Economic Affairs, CCEA. So they clear the funds, foreign direct funds. So it was a great opportunity then. I didn't know anything in real estate. It was fun learning. So brilliant it was.
So I think, Shiva, if I can stop here, I still remember when our convention in Hyderabad, uh, you were given charge of taking care of our chairman of Maharera, Mr. Gautam Chatterjee.
Correct.
You were the special aid for him. I think that is the reason someone thought of you. You were the right person to interact with this kind of officer because you had such a huge experience and expertise to connect with the Central Cabinet Ministry that this would have been a very easy work. And that is the reason Mr. Gautam Chatterjee still takes the first name in NIR India comes in his mind is Mr. Shiva from Coimbatore.
So that I owe to Ravi Verma sir. Ravi Verma sir, he actually Ravi Verma sir and Sumant actually gave me the opportunity to travel with him. लेकिन क्या है जब हम वो 1.5 hours जो 1-1.5 घंटे कार में बैठे थे बात कर रहे थे तो क्या हो गया तो I kind of gel with him. He's a fantastic person.
Absolutely.
He's a brilliant man, man with a vision, and a man who's already cracked a lot in life.
True.
You learn a lot from him.
Yes.
So the first thing that I told him is, sir, the more you know that you don't know. This is my philosophy in life.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to sit here as a plain slate. You tell me what you have done. I want to listen for you.
Wow.
So वैसे हम अपना airport तक का journey start किए, and then we exchange numbers. We still speak on WhatsApp. He's a very busy man.
Yes.
I keep troubling him 1 or 2 times, just WhatsApping him.
But he is really fond of you. Let me tell you. Yeah, you have got that attraction, the power of attraction in your persona.
Thank you.
Great. So, what kind of salary package you got in this company?
So interesting. So in Coimbatore at that point of time, drawing 5-digit salary was very big. So I got a 11111.
Wow.
111. So it was a great thing to do in in Rakindo. So it was a great time there. Brilliant because I had so much of exposure and they gave me so much of freedom.
Yeah, but I think the kind of exposure you must have got there, being in charge of liaison, your connection, connecting with the mapping of the entire township is not a small thing. Yeah, it is amazing.
One thing that I got to know, Bhaiya, at that point of time is that I never knew, in spite of being in real estate, I did not know there was a company called Ascendas, which is into IT. So I get the chief of Ascendas travel down to see whether they can set up an IT park here.
Yes.
Then I got to know this company called Ananda Spa, which is they are in the Himalayas, right?
Yes.
They wanted to set up a spa here. We had a brilliant concept, and we had the who's who coming in to see this project.
Yeah.
So we had a gentleman called David Hemstock, who did our golf. He was the person who designed the golf for the Lonavala, the Ambi Valley course in Lonavala. He was the one who designed. And he's designed a lot of golf courses in UK. And we had Mercer, Decker, and Ruder as our master planners. So these are names that I've never heard of. And the first book that I bought to read was Mughals of Real Estate.
Yes, Mughals of Real Estate. Yeah.
So it was written by a gentleman called Manoj Nambaru. I read that book. That's when I knew there was Shapunji Palunji. That's when I knew there was DLF. You know, he speaks, Manoj Nambaru writes in that book. He says there are 3 G's that brought DLF to life. 3 G hai, G. जो DLF को जिंदगी दिया वो क्या क्या है मैं आपको बताता हूँ. एक है गांधी, दूसरा है जी, तीसरा है गुड़गांव.
वाह.
गांधी है अपना राजीव गांधी जी जिन्होंने 1991 में लिबरलाइजेशन, प्राइवेटाइजेशन, ग्लोबलाइजेशन किया. Actually, if you read that book, you'll understand राजीव गांधी जी का कार जो है ये अपना गुड़गांव हाईवे में खराब हो गया. तो आप DLF का एक्सपेंशन जानते हैं? इट इज दिल्ली लैंड फाइनेंस कंपनी. ठीक है. तो जो अपने कुशाल पाल सिंह जी है वो वहां पे बैठ के एक किसान से बात कर रहे हैं जमीन खरीदने का. अचानक राजीव गांधी जी का गाड़ी खराब हो जाता है. तो उनका ड्राइवर जो है पानी लेने के लिए आता है, तो केपी सिंह जी गांधी जी को देख लेते हैं, वहां जाके बात करते हैं कि आप अगर हमें जमीन देते हैं तो हम जी को लेके ऑफिस का मामला यहाँ पे सेट करते हैं, वी कैन गेट जी टू बिल्ड एन ऑफिस हियर। जी जो है गुड़गांव में ऑफिस बनाएगा, ये मेरा वतन है। तो राजीव गांधी जी गए, संसद में एक बिल लेके आए, और आई थिंक ही गॉट इट डन फॉर कुशल पाल सिंह।
So this is again like a networking.
Brilliant. You see, he sits somewhere and he gets this done. So that inspired me when I started reading that book. और वो बुक में उसके अलावा था आपने शापुन जी पलन जी के बारे में, it was written, उनके बारे में लिखा था। तो वैसे बहुत सारे नाम थे, मैं भूल गया क्योंकि 15-16 साल था, and I remember these two because they're very very close to my heart. We don't get that book now. We don't get that book, and the book had a very very vivid color. It was a brilliant color. I think ये किताब जो है, I think everybody in real estate should read it.
I will at least read, and I request all of you to read, my dear friend. This is amazing opportunity.
Manoj Lambaru.
So till how long you were with this company, or development कहाँ तक पहुँचा थे?
What we did in Russell Khaimah when I was working with Rakindo, what we did is the acquisition got over. I was there till the project was ready to be submitted to the government.
Okay.
For approvals. I was there till then, which was a period of about 16 months or so. 16 to 18 months.
So then आपको ये temptation नहीं आया कि एक प्रोजेक्ट को आगे अपन मार्केटिंग करते हैं, या what happened then? Why did you?
I really didn't know that real estate was my strength. उस समय मुझे ये नहीं था कि मेरे मन में ये नहीं लग रहा था कि रियल एस्टेट मेरा स्ट्रेंथ। आपको एक और चीज बताना चाहता हूँ, मैं जब वहां से आई रिजाइन, आई एक्चुअली गॉट थ्रू IIM Calcutta's course in management, so that's why I resigned.
अच्छा, मतलब पढ़ाई अभी भी मतलब वो कीड़ा था कि कुछ और भी पढ़ना है,
कुछ और भी पढ़ना था। तो इसके बीच में मैंने क्या किया, मैंने इंग्लिश थिएटर भी किया।
इंग्लिश थिएटर, क्या बात है।
हाँ, so I used to do drama. I used to do English theater. I used to do drama then. I thought that was my passion.
Wow.
So that also didn't happen. Then I joined IIM Kolkata. I came back to Coimbatore. I was sitting with a friend of mine, thinking what to do. I gave a shot at civil services also. One last shot. That also didn't happen.
UPSC.
In this time, UPSC. So यही समय में मैं सोच रहा था कि my strength was meeting people and speaking to people.
Wow. Meeting people and speaking to people, yeah.
So that is when I coined this frame that in today's era, your network is your net worth. आप जानते होंगे, क्योंकि आपने ये सवाल मुझे बैंगलोर में पूछा था, तो this is my tagline, and I always thought of this since 2008-9, and I always believed that real estate is one business that can open any door for you.
Absolutely.
अगर आप अंबानी जी से भी बात करना चाहते हैं, बोलते हैं कि मेरे पास एक प्रोजेक्ट है जिसका मैं 100 गुना करके 1 साल में आपको दे सकता हूँ, तो दरवाजा खुल ही जाएगा।
वो आपको वो ढूंढते हुए आएगा शिवा किधर।
हाँ, तो that's why I thought, real estate combined with experience in licensing with government, I think this is where I have to be. That is when I started real estate.
So then you started your own business.
Yeah, so I started this company called Lands and Lands.
Lands and Lands. क्या बात है यार, you're very creative यार। हर चीज जो भी किया है ना लाइफ में, it has a very very distinction with. आप मानेंगे नहीं, जब मैं ये नाम दिया था, बहुत सारे लोग से मैं जब कोल्ड कॉलिंग करता तो वो बोलते थे कि क्या है साहब, ये लैंड सैंड लैंड क्या होता है? they will not say lands and lands. So it was very funny, and there are quite a lot of people who tell me that a name is very important in real estate. Absolutely.
But I differ from it. I believe, now my company's name is different. Now I run a company called Danvi Ventures India Private Limited. That is different. But I've always believed at some point of time, once you start performing, once you start delivering the essentials, people will then recognize the brand.
100%. But there is a difference in name also, because
correct.
See, it is like advertising. People will say, my product is good, why should I advertise? But if your product is good, then your reach will be faster if you are advertising. The same thing happens with the brand name. Brand name is very important, but अभी हमारे यहाँ ऐसा हुआ है कि फैमिली के नाम से ब्रांडिंग हुआ है इंडिया के अंदर।
Correct.
करेक्ट, आप देखो कितने भी बड़े कॉर्पोरेट से फैमिली के नाम से हुआ है, बट देयर आर फ्यू जिनका वो पर्टिकुलर इंडस्ट्री के हिसाब से अगर कंपनी का नाम है, तो दैट एड्स वैल्यू टू इट, एंड इट
You're
इज
absolutely
इजी टू रिमेंबर फॉर समवन हु इज कनेक्टिंग
Brings-
फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम.
It
But
brings a
yes,
top of the mind recall.
see, end of the day, your performance, your product, your performance, service, everything definitely counts. But that adds on the brand value. If you have a good name, that will help. For example, I have changed my company's name after 16 years from Vinod Estate Agency. So there is a difference between Vinod Estate Agency and Square Feet. The brand, the name is connecting with the industry. That becomes personal. So if I am not there tomorrow, Vinod Estate Agency will not get that kind of feeling for people who are working for the company. So that sense of belonging will only come with the kind of name, they feel that this is my company.
You're right.
I personally feel that way.
No, you're absolutely right.
Great. So you started that with your partner, with some partner, Lance.
Yeah, so I started off with a partner then, and fortunately, Rakindo was graceful enough to extend and say, Shiva, why don't you start consulting for us?
Yes.
So they gave me a first business. So I went back to Rakindo. I started consulting for them, and that's how my first business started. So that was more on the licensing side of it. The real estate side of it, I had somebody who wanted me to sell a small house or a plot, and she was a banker, and she gave me the opportunity, and I sold the house for her. Actually, what happened is she wanted me to fence the plot for her, not the house. She wanted me to fence the plot for her. So what I always call this as real estate based services. What are the so in real estate, it's not only brokerage. When you integrate real estate, you can integrate it both forward and backward. How do I do it backward is I can provide all services. मतलब जो म्यूटेशन है, रेवेन्यू म्यूटेशन है, वो कर सकता हूँ. और इनका अगर जमीन है उसको फेंसिंग करना है, उनका मेजरमेंट करना है, उनका डिजिटल सर्वे करना है, वो कर सकता हूँ. उनका पेपर वर्क है, उसको डिजिटाइज कर सकता हूँ. सो दिस आई कॉल एज रियल एस्टेट बेस्ड सर्विसेज.
यस.
सो हर एक समय आपको वो डॉक्यूमेंट लेके उसको जेरोक्स नहीं करना पड़ता, उसका फोटोस्टैट नहीं करना पड़ता, तो उसके बगैर आप प्रिंट आउट ले सकते हैं. दैट मेक्स लाइफ इजी. सो वी कॉल दिस इज रियल एस्टेट बेस्ड सर्विसेज. तो उसमें मैंने जो फेंसिंग है, उनका प्रॉपर्टी का फेंसिंग है, वो किया था. And I made a small docket of it. I said, your property is here. This is how it used to look before. Now this is how it looks. And these are the documents you had given me. I have collected all these documents. Now, if you want to sell, you can sell it full-fledged. करके मैंने उनको एक document दिया. और उसके अलावा एक chocolate box, एक dairy milk का box जो है, और उनके बैंक में जाके दिया. So she was very happy. And she said, son, why don't you sell this plot for me also? So वैसे then I sold the plot for her. Earned my first commission then, and then she referred me to quite a few people. Like that, a reference happened, and I think in 2010, for my partner and me, we part ways, and I started off. I had to restart again. I had to form a new company. So this time I decided we'll form a private limited company, and we call this Danvi Ventures India Private Limited (DVIPL). That's how we'd like to be known as. Danvi means someone who's talented, someone who knows where the arrow has to hit.
Yes.
Precisely अपनी अर्जुन के जैसा. So that's why I named this as Danvi.
And that resembles your personality also.
Thank you. So and
yeah, I want to ask a few things about land transaction. We have not done many land transactions in our company. So can you share, then there may be a lot of brokers, realtors who will be viewing this show and maybe later on also. So if somebody wants to start the land business, so what kind of advice you would give? And if somebody is into the business, what precaution, what not to do when you are doing a land transaction?
Super. Real estate basically in nature is a very complex business. There's a lot of complexity in real estate. So that what you do, you make it very simple to the client. Excellent. Land in real estate, land is even more complex.
Yes.
So that complexity should be drawn out. and you should make it very simple. So if you're wanting to enter the land business, there are physical characteristics of the land and there are certain attributes of the land. The physical characteristics, I would say you should be very informative. Point number one, which is very, very essential in real estate and in any other business. But in the land transaction, you should be very, very informative. Informative, I divided into two. How? Informative on physical characteristics of the land, meaning what dimensions the land is, what shape it is, how you can efficiently use it, what road it is located. These are the physical characteristics of the land. But otherwise, the land will have a typical unique character of its own, which is, हमारे यहाँ पे अगर वो जमीन आपको, if you're the third generation and वो जमीन आपको आ रहा है, they will want to sell it. They will not want to hold it. In South India, it's typically a culture. The third generation will sell the land. So these are a unique characters of land. You should know who had owned this before. You should know that. You should know what are the encumbrances that are there in the property. Meaning, you should not limit yourself to just showing the land. You should go deep into it, understand who owned the land. Okay, what is the hierarchy of this ownership? How it could be put to development? What are the development regulations in the state? How somebody buying it can put it to efficient use. If you can give him a clear roadmap when somebody is buying a huge parcel of land, then he will understand, okay, isko main nahi karna chahta. Dusra kuch hai? So like that, you will improve yourself. So I'm saying when you start dealing with land, deal it with two perspectives. One is give it physical look at it, and then make a character to the land.
Just for a broader perspective, we have never done land transaction. Every state has a different land laws.
Correct.
And but there are certain basic things which is applicable to all the states in India. So what kind of land? We always heard here that industrial land or the green zone or non-development zone. So what are the zoning in big perspective if you can give about the zoning of the land?
Zoning of the land precisely we'll keep it two: agriculture, non-agriculture.
Correct. That is the basic. Yes.
That is the basic. So also in land, the development is not only above the land.
Yes.
Above the land is building.
True.
Below the land there is mine.
Yes.
कुछ mine कर सकते हैं.
Very true.
So you have to look at land in two perspectives. One is, am I speaking to this person to develop? If you're speaking to him to develop, then you have to tell him the regulations, non-agriculture, agriculture, what is the time taken for land conversion, whether land conversion is possible here or not possible. All these things you should be abreast. Whether whichever state you're in, you should be knowing the land laws. If you don't know the land laws, you should not go to the state and deal. It's definitely not advisable. If you're in Tamil Nadu, you know the state of Tamil Nadu, you know the laws of Tamil Nadu, deal in Tamil Nadu. If you know the laws of Maharashtra, then go to Maharashtra, start acquiring land. Until last year, I think until last year or year before, you cannot buy agricultural land in Karnataka unless you're a farmer.
True.
So you should know the basics of the state. If you don't know, you should not get into that. And one very, very important thing as a realtor is you should know the metrics of real estate.
Yes.
आप अगर मुझसे पूछते हैं शिवा एक स्क्वायर यार्ड कितना स्क्वायर फीट है, and I don't know that answer,
then you are
okay, I may sound stupid in front of you, right? I know it's 9 square feet, so so other than that, what you should know the basic development control regulations.
Yes.
These are things that you should know. If you don't know, you cannot go and speak to the client. Merely telling him that you put a warehousing here, I will help you rent, all this is not going to suffix.
Absolutely.
You have to tell him what the laws of the land are and the development control regulations, which means you have to study. Before entering a state, you have to study the laws. So this is what I would recommend you.
Excellent. So then you started this Danvi venture, and now your company is doing only land, or you are doing multiple things in real estate?
In Coimbatore, one thing is I have to keep all my doors open.
Yeah.
So I cannot say no to somebody. The moment I say no to somebody, then I won't get a reference. So I have to do everything in Coimbatore, but we predominantly do land-based transactions.
And if you can brief us, all our viewers, about the Coimbatore as a market in real estate. So what is the population of Coimbatore? Maybe Coimbatore is the second biggest city after Chennai, if somebody wants to enter.
Yeah, it could be the second biggest, and we are a population of about 3.2 million to 3.7 million. That's the population we are. The district as such will be that much. Predominantly, Coimbatore is a very industrious city, very industrious city. You have a lot of entrepreneurs from Coimbatore. You have Thyrocare.
Yeah, Thyrocare.
He's from Coimbatore.
Oh,
Mr.
right.
Velumani is from Coimbatore.
Ah.
So you have, I don't know if you have heard of Ampere Electric Vehicles.
Ampere. Yes.
That's taken over by Greaves now, Crompton Greaves. She's from Coimbatore.
Oh.
So it's a very industrious city. So I think the entrepreneurial spirit in Coimbatore drives a lot of industrialization. That's what has happened. We were dubbed as mini Mumbai until 1999. So we have a very cosmopolitan culture here. We have everybody. We have Gujaratis, Bengalis, Malayalis, Tamilians, Telugites. We have everybody here. So typically like Mumbai. But unfortunately, we had a bomb blast in 99, and that led down to the slippage of the district's growth. But the growth predominantly is industrious. And because of industry, you have residential support also.
And so if you share with us in last 20 years, what kind of growth happened in real estate in Coimbatore?
See, Coimbatore is one market where every top industry wanted to have its office here. There are two markets in India. One is Pune, one is Coimbatore.
Oh.
If somebody wanted to start an industry, for example, your Kirloskars, your Cromptons, anybody at that point of time, say laid back in the 90s or something like that, they would always have a small office in Coimbatore and in Pune. But vis-a-vis Pune, the development in Coimbatore is not that great. I have to be honest about it. Pune has seen brilliant growth, okay? But Coimbatore is slowly spurting up with growth because Coimbatore predominantly is a textile market.
Sure.
Once the textile industry has a cycle every 5 years. Once the textile industry started slipping down, the malls and the IT came in. And that's when Coimbatore started seeing another phase of growth. We have not seen significant growth like Pune, but we have expanded now. The city has expanded. The city has expanded to north, south, east, and west, which was not there. In the last 20 years, the city's geography has grown. If you take Chennai, Chennai's geography has grown multiple folds.
Yes.
Mumbai's geography has grown multiple folds. We have not grown that far. We are growing in that phenomenon. I think and Coimbatore was always a pensioner's paradise.
Oh.
You will find a lot of retirement communities here in Coimbatore because of the weather, the hospitality, and the water. These are three. Coimbatore's water, the Sirvani water, is the sweetest in the world, second sweetest in the world. Yeah. So people used to love this here in Coimbatore. That's one thing that drove Coimbatore in the last 20 years. So you'll have a lot of residential layouts done. You'll have a lot of industries that have come in, and you've had IT growth that has come in. You put a plotted development even tomorrow in Coimbatore, you'll sell in some good spot. Yeah.
So how many? What are the pricing in residential from minimum to excellent location top? Minimum and maximum.
3,000 to 16,000. 3,000 to
16,000 is which is the best locality in Coimbatore for high-end residential?
High-end residential is Racecourse.
Racecourse.
Yeah.
And what about commercial office space? What is the pricing?
Commercial office space absorption happens at, say, the least could be somewhere around 25-30 rupees to a maximum of say about 65-70 rupees. That's it. So retail happens at about 125 the max, least being about 50-60.
And what about metro? Do you have metro in Coimbatore?
So we are hearing that Coimbatore will have a metro, and there's some groundwork that they did on metro. We are expecting the metro to come. We don't know when it will come.
How many malls in total malls in Coimbatore?
Total malls, we have Brookfield, we have Fun Mall, we have Prozone. We have 3 malls, 3 big malls. Yeah, Brookfields is Brookfields Group. Fun Mall is your SL World from Mumbai, and Provogue again is Prozone, Provogue, and Ozone. Yeah.
Okay. So again, come back to your original first entry to real estate. What is the status of that township, 1,000 acre, which you were responsible in liaison and planning?
So that township, today has a small life where there are about say 1,000 odd apartments have been built there, and there's a school, a very very famous school that is functioning from there. But unfortunately, they had to drop off the golf aspect of the township because of lack of water.
Lack of water.
Yeah, because golf requires a lot of water,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
and this our location did not have enough water to sufficiently for the grass there, for the green there was not sufficient water, so the project had to lay back. I mean, they had to lay back the project.
So I think
Very
thousand
sad to know.
apartment is nothing in terms of such a huge development. So
Yeah, so there was only a small part that was taken for affordable housing. So in 2008-9 we launched affordable housing then at 8 lakhs and 10 lakhs, which was, yeah, at that point of time the market even was not there, but we opened it up.
so what is the status now? The owners are same or they have sold it to someone? What is the
No, the RAK government has taken it up now. It's with the RAC, I understand.
okay.
The land portion has been plotted. They want to enter into plotted development.
So I think now moving ahead, they might sell it small plots to different developers.
Naturally, yeah,
Because such thing has happened in many cities. You know, when and especially when market is in boom, and that time someone come from outside and plan this huge development with certain big dreams, and then when they go at ground level, it is not practical.
right.
At that point of time. Uh, so that is also challenging. So great, and then after that you joined Coimbatore Realtor Association for another next step to know a little more about real estate. So tell us about that experience.
I joined Coimbatore Real Estate Association because a friend of mine, I know him. I'm sure all of you know him, Jude Alex. He
Yeah,
referred me
yes,
to
yeah.
Jude referred me to Co area. Jude said, Shiva, there's something called Coimbatore Association of Realtors. Why don't you come and join? We just started it. So I joined that in 2012. Joined the association in 2012. So one good thing that happened in Co area at that point of time, the interaction between our members, the faith between our members grew. I started doing business with all our members.
Excellent.
So that faith grew. And this opportunity of networking always grew bigger because the team was there. You had 30, 40 people then.
True.
We were a team of 20. We became
Yeah, that time
30,
it was 20. I used to connect with, I think Jayaraman is there. And
yeah, Jayaraman sir is our founder president.
I
Yeah,
think he's the founder president. He's also Rotarian.
correct.
So that's how we got
Yeah.
connected that time. So,
And Mr. Kannan was there.
Kannan, yeah, he's also Rotarian. Yeah.
Yeah, Kannan
So-
sir and Jayaraman.
Kannan is a very, very entrepreneur,
Yeah.
thought. I think he's also with BNI and he started in India first Rotary means business, being a
Correct.
Rotarian. I think that
Correct.
concept he brought in India. So currently, how many members you have in area?
We were 50 plus, but now we were again brought it down to 40 plus. We're 40 plus.
So that is the only association in Coimbatore, or there are different other organizations for brokers in Coimbatore?
There are different organizations for brokers. So there are quite a lot of people who ask me why only 40 people. The other associations are 400 people, 4,000 people.
Yes.
So I always tell them there's a lot of difference between your chit companies and banks, right?
Yes.
So you want to deposit money in a chit company and want it to be safe? I don't know how safe it will be. In a bank, so I'm saying, so we need to differentiate.
True.
We need to. I'm not saying all chit companies are bad. I'm saying there are some chit companies. It's
Yes.
not that banks are great, but the
True.
difference, the kind of difference that you bring on table, I think that's what NAR India and Co area can do.
So you are now president of Coimbatore Association currently?
Yeah. Yes.
Excellent. And so what kind of, and then you got connected with NAR India, we met at NAR India only, and
Correct.
you have been a great contributor to the NAR India. Especially last year, your contribution was amazing. And of course, everyone at NAR India look forward to you as a future leader in NAR India. So what do you think had you not been part of these two organizations, what would have been a differentiation? So what kind of opportunity you saw being a part of these two organizations? As a leader?
महाराष्ट्र में छोटी सी छोटी गांव कौन सी है भैया?
हाँ, महाराष्ट्र में छोटा गाँव, वो तो मुझे मालूम नहीं है।
लेकिन एक गांव का नाम बताइए जहाँ पे रियल एस्टेट का धंधा कम होगा.
ऐसे तो बहुत सारे गांव है, मतलब
Okay, just tell me one random name where development is very less.
हाँ, यू कैन से मंडन गांव, मंडनगढ़।
अगर मंडनगढ़ में एक रियल एस्टेट ब्रोकर है
हाँ
और उसको एक प्लेटफॉर्म चाहिए, ओके, एंड ही थिंक्स ही कैन मेक इट बिग, ही हैज टू जॉइन इन एयर इंडिया.
हाँ
Somebody like me, okay, I know networking is strength, but somebody like me who hails from Coimbatore, okay, it's a very small association compared to the other associations in NAR India. If I have been given an opportunity to prove, because there's talent, and it's only because of NAR India and Coeria. If you have the talent, you will always be there. I think that difference is very big.
एक्सीलेंट। एंड व्हाट डू यू थिंक, ये जो आप इतने टाइम से बिजनेस कर रहे हैं 2010 से, ये जो तीन चार चीजें जो आई लास्ट डेकेड में, इट वाज अ डीमोनेटाइजेशन, देन रेरा, देन जीएसटी, सो बीइंग फ्रॉम कोयम्बतूर कंपेयर टू मेट्रो सिटी, उसका इम्पैक्ट मार्केट के ऊपर कैसा रहा, और द वे ब्रोकर्स आर डूइंग बिजनेस, व्हाट काइंड ऑफ ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन यू कैन सी इन द इंडस्ट्री?
ये डिमोनेटाइजेशन, जीएसटी और रेरा का जो असर है भैया, उसका उसका तो हम एक एक का I'll just take 1 minute on everything.
Yeah.
ये जीएसटी जो है is actually a boon to कोयम्बतूर.
Yes.
क्योंकि व्यापार एक चीज है जहां पे किसी का एक व्यक्ति का जो नष्ट है तो दूसरी व्यक्ति का लाभ होगा.
Correct.
ठीक है, so that is business, that's the essence of business. GST happened, a lot of logistics companies moved away from Kerala to Coimbatore because Coimbatore is a border to Kerala.
Oh.
Because of labor issues, like आपकी यहाँ पे भी है वो जो labor issues रहते हैं महाराष्ट्र में भी. आप you pay something like a I forgot the name or the terminology that you used. Laborers को हम
हाँ देना पड़ता है, महसूल.
हाँ, तो यहाँ केरला में भी वो है, तो because of that the labor issues were high, and that's why people moved to Coimbatore. So GST happened, is a good thing to Coimbatore. Demonetization overall, I think it was a perspective issue.
True.
We went and spoke, it was not good, but I see, if you read all the enforcement directorate cases now, all the money has gone to land.
True.
So someone must have made money there. I don't know who made money. So if you read a lot of cases, all the old money got invested in land, gold, and all that. So it's not the right thing to happen, though. It was not the right thing to do. But still, I think demonetization today has set us a pattern. एक आदमी के अंदर एक थोड़ा सा there's a fear now कि अगर मैं ज्यादा से ज्यादा पैसा ले लूं, कुछ हो जाए, तो the transactions have slowly started moving to white. That has happened. Impact of GST on us is very bad. They should not charge us 18%. We are not, as brokers, we cannot pay 18%. कमीशन कभी कभी 1%, 1% मिलता है, कभी कभी 2% मिलता है, 1% में 18% दे दूं तो मैं क्या लेके जा रहा हूँ? कुछ नहीं लेके जा रहा हूँ as a broker.
No, but don't you think through NAR India and other organization, we should put forward this to especially RERA authority, that when you are asking us to pay 18%, at least have some specification in the system that this is the guideline about the brokerage charges. So that
we are in the process of giving our representation, but see, the government at large will only work towards something if the industry as such is organized. Hamara jo industry is unorganized. We have to agree to it. Once it is organized and the representation comes in a sensible form, I'm sure they will take it up. I think it's a matter of time.
So I think still, as you said correctly, we are still at we are still not there because according to me, approximately in India there are around 1 million brokers, 10 lakhs brokers who are doing this business full time. I am not considering those part-time brokers.
Correct.
Full-time brokers, there are 1 million, 10 lakh brokers in India. And as of now, only 55,000 are registered on RERA in different states across the country, total. So still there are 9,50,000 which are not part of RERA. Of course, you are doing, majority of them are doing resale transaction and land transaction. Right now, we are only in primary market which are exposed to the river. So even from 55,000 at NIR India, so how much percent do you think, unless we expand this net of bringing people into the fold of organization, how will that happen when you represent to the government? What are the different ways and means you can see that unless you have number, I think it is challenging to convince the government.
You have given the number now. In real estate is, if I'm right, the third largest industry in terms of employment. First is agriculture, second is railways, then comes us. But if you knock off railways also, we'll be second. We had this conversation yesterday, even in Chennai when we spoke.
Yeah.
Real estate will contribute 1 trillion in 2030.
Yes,
It will be 13% of GDP. And our Prime Minister's dream of a 5 trillion economy will happen with real estate. When real estate actually contributes to 250 sectors, allied industries, 250 allied industries work based on real estate. The one thing that has to happen is we have to keep shouting, we have to keep making this noise always.
True.
Our voices should be heard loud. I think irrespective whether the number is going to be 200 or 2000 or 20,000 or 2 lakhs, but our voices needs to be heard. If our voices are not heard, I think the government will not know how to help this industry.
True.
Only now, I think our voices are being heard. In the last about 4-5 years, NIR India representation has gone in large. I'm not saying we didn't represent prior to that, but I'm saying only now the voices are being heard.
Absolutely.
I think that is very important, than the numbers.
And that's encouraging that the very fact that Central Era Committee, Advisory Committee of 11 members team, the chairman of NIR India is also part of that 11 member committee. So that's really very encouraging, and we can definitely look forward for such more incidents to happen. So, friends, I'm really enjoying the conversation with my dear friend Shiva, and I'm sure you are also. So, if you have any question, you can please put it in the question and answer chat box. Once I finish the conversation, we are on the verge of ending the discussion. We will take those question answer later on. So, Shiva, last 2 years are very, very challenging for all of us in India and in the world because of the COVID. So, COVID 1 and COVID 2, we can distinguish these two things because when COVID 1 happened, initially for 1 week, everybody was enjoying at home and thinking that, God has been kind to us. We are getting full time with family. We have never got this opportunity. Few people started cooking, somebody started reading, somebody started watching Netflix. They never got that opportunity. And slowly after 1 week, they thought that they got trapped now. They are not able to see what is going to happen tomorrow. And for another 6 months, then another 1 year. It was infinite. So those experience and then impact of that particular thing in real estate. And then we understood the importance of technology. I think in last 2 years, more than though technology was there. So please share your experience, your personal experience, how this last 2 years changed you as a person and professionally also.
COVID actually was very demanding on every individual. One, I think physically and mentally was very demanding. Physically, because you were refrained to a certain space. We are not used to it. And our Samir keeps saying, we gave life to a lot of people and, they had to come back to home for life. So Samir says something of the sort. So the home aspect of it became very, very important with respect to COVID. So when I say physically and mentally, I look at it two ways. Mentally, a lot of people have actually become desk bound now. Who were not desk bound earlier have become desk bound now. People like us who are always wanting to, you and me would want to do this in person.
Yes.
Right? We'd probably like to have 20 people listening to us and speaking to us. We have now become desk bound. Right? People who are actually, desk bound have actually started moving out, have become physically, better. They want to exercise. They want to. So COVID has been demanding on an individual.
Yes.
But in my perspective, if you ask me, I've heard quite a lot of people say that between COVID 1 and COVID 2, they have done the maximum number of deals that they could do ever in their life. This
Yes.
I've heard. It, fortunately or unfortunately, it has not happened to me. तो भगवान चाह रहे हैं कि भाई तू और 10 साल काम कर. तो I think God has a solution for everyone. So
Yes.
I think for somebody, God said, make the most of it during these times. And I think many of them did that. Correct?
True.
So this is what I have heard. For me, COVID has actually had very little impact on us, though. As an organization, we have had very little impact on that.
So, what is your view on technology? I think how do you see technology?
Quite a lot of
changing
people ask. Quite a lot of
business?
people ask me, what is the future of real estate? They
Yeah.
ask me whether it is logistics, warehousing, data centers. See, all this is one part of real estate. The future of real estate is prop tech.
Hmm.
Property and technology will be the future of real estate. I see that somebody who will crack this equation, where technology can be brought in to make real estate very easy, he'll be the guy who will make money. See, the aspect of showing land, all this will happen. आप करेंगे, मैं करूंगा, आपके बाद आपके ऑफिस वाले करेंगे, हमारे बाद हमारे ऑफिस वाले करेंगे, वो तो होता ही रहता है. लेकिन ये काम को जो आसान बनाता है, जो टेक्नोलॉजी बनाता है, जो आसान बनाता है, he will make the most of it. So I think the future of real estate is not only building logistics parks, building data centers. There is technology at play, and if we can bring that technology to make real estate very, very easy, I think that man has the money with him.
Excellent. I think the one word is embrace technology.
Correct.
Great. So, I think हमारे conversation में ये सबसे ज़्यादा time अभी तक आपने life में real estate में बिताया from 2010 to 2021.
Correct. Yeah.
So now you have decided that this is it. कि और इसमें और वापस कुछ नया chance है कि अभी नहीं मजा नहीं आ रहा है और कुछ करना है life में.
No, this is the foundation of it.
Okay. So now
This is the foundation.
then tell me why real estate? What is that one thing which is keeping you intact in this industry? What do you love about this industry?
भैया मैं ये धंधा इसलिए कर रहा हूँ,
हाँ.
जो आदमी उलझ रहा है, उसको जिंदगी में घर लेना है,
हाँ.
लेकिन उसके मन में उसके मन में आशा है, लेकिन उसके मन में शंका भी है.
वाह.
ठीक है, वैसी आदमी को ढूंढ रहा हूँ मैं. ठीक है, आई एम लुकिंग एट दैट इंडिविजुअल, दैट रिटेल इंडिविजुअल जिसके पास पैसा थोड़ा कम है, घर बनाना है, बहुत ज्यादा शंका है. ठीक है, ये तीनों को आई वांट टू क्लियर. आई वांट टू बी दैट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन दैट केटर्स टू दैट डाउट ऑफ दैट जेंटलमैन, build faith and help him make that house.
Superb. Excellent. I'm yet to meet someone in real estate who has given this defining sentence to the importance of our profession as a realtor. Amazing, yeah. I loved it. So, the purpose of this broker की पाठशाला शिवा, इसके दो पर्पज है. मैंने जब भी सोचा कि स्टार्ट करता हूँ, और ये जो कॉन्सेप्ट है टू इनवाइटिंग पीपल फ्रॉम डिफरेंट सिटी एंड डिफरेंट कल्चर, अभी जो हमारा सीजन चल रहा है वो न्यू जनरेशन रियल्टर. यू आर पार्ट ऑफ न्यू जनरेशन रियल्टर हु एंटर रियल एस्टेट आफ्टर 2000, and we heard story from new generation. Most of them were not clear when they started their journey as a profession or any career. Real estate was not the first choice. Somebody went into insurance, somebody went into finance, and then suddenly they got opportunity to connect with real estate, and then they got stuck with real estate. सबने अपनी अपनी करियर में 3-4 अलग-अलग इंडस्ट्री में जाके जैसे रियल एस्टेट में आए तो वो फिट हो गए. So I think there is something which is very good, and ये सारे न्यू जनरेशन के जितने ब्रोकर्स हैं, जितने रियल्टर हैं, they are all highly qualified. सबने ग्रेजुएशन किया है, MBA किया है, IIM किया है, like you. So I want to create this awareness amongst the industry, in the society. The boss, next generation, this is a great industry, and there is amazing future waiting for all of you. Why don't you start from if you would have started real estate in 2006-7 instead of 2010-11, don't you think that 3-4 years would have made a big difference in your career? So if somebody wants to choose this as a career option, what will be your message to new generation with regards to our profession?
So yeah, this is one profession that I've always been telling people that there is a lot of people who lack self-respect in this profession. आप अपने आप को ब्रोकर बोलने में आपके मन में एक तकलीफ आ जाती है. Yeah, I'm a real estate consultant. Samir keeps saying this. I'm a realtor, a broker. आपके मन में वो confusion आ जाती है. I'm very proud to say that I'm a real estate broker because I am the epicenter of the economy.
Excellent.
So my point to the youngsters is this. देखिए भैया, भारत में और जापान में एक बहुत बड़ी अंतर है. जापान में अगर आप, if you read this book called Ikigai, in that book, he speaks about restaurants that run for 250 years and 300 years. Great grandfather, grandfather, now son. You ask him what you want to do, he will say, मैं स्वादिष्ट और तंदुरुस्त खाना अपने कस्टमर को देना चाहता हूँ. बस यही है अपनी जिंदगी का फिलॉसफी. ये जब तक जारी रहेगी तब तक वो होटल इंडस्ट्री जारी रहेगी. ठीक है भैया. रियल एस्टेट है, हम लोग आप 20 साल हो गए रियल एस्टेट में. आई एम श्योर समबडी इज डन 30-40 years. We have to think of real estate as a 100-year, 200-year industry. ठीक है. मैं जो solution दे रहा हूँ, इसकी वजह से उसका जो what do I say, his dream gets satisfied, right? सपना जो है वो gets satisfied. So I have to have the pride, the authority, and the knowledge to communicate to somebody that you are making the best decision through the best agent.
Wow.
This has to be communicated. If you do this, this will live forever. And don't ever worry that you're in a profession that is demeaning. It is not you're not in a profession that's demeaning. You're actually in a profession that is helping people build lives. बहुत सारे लोगों के जो जिंदगी है उनकी घर से बनता है.
True. Absolutely.
And we give them life.
Excellent. Great message. I'm sure people who will watch this session online whenever they get time, especially youngsters, they will learn a lot of new things about our industry, and the person like you will always inspire the next generation. So, friends, we have almost completed the conversation with Shiva till now, what he's doing in real estate and his perspective about the business, how he started his journey, and we understood what kind of person he is. But still, there are certain things which will unveil his personality, what Shiva is. So this is the last segment where we ask personal question. It's like a one-liner, I'm sure you must have seen some episode of Broker Ki Pathshala. So, what does success? Everybody want to be successful in life, and for every individual, success is a different meaning. So, what is your meaning of success?
Somebody told me this. Lakshmi Devi jo hai, Lakshmi Devi, she blossoms on a lotus. And lotus comes everywhere. आज यहाँ पे आएगा, जहाँ पे भी dirt है, lotus blooms in dirt. यहाँ पे आएगा, वहाँ पे आएगा. लेकिन माँ सरस्वती जो है, she sits on a rock. पैसा जो है, आज विनोद भैया के हाथ में रहेगा, कल मेरे हाथ में रहेगा. लेकिन if I'm informative, if I'm knowledgeable, okay, I will always I will be the one person whom people want to connect to. And I believe that success is the amount of information and knowledge that you gain and transfer.
Wow, excellent, very good. So then, what does money means to you? Lakshmi.
My wife, मेरी बीवी का नाम है Lakshmi.
Wow.
So I'm already living with Lakshmi.
But उसका importance कितना है आपकी life में?
If you ask me in percentage, 50%, 20% for my company, 20% for myself. When I mean for myself and the society.
Yeah.
10% for the growth of my company.
For the growth
of my company.
Excellent. You in your conversation आपने दो books का नाम लिया. एक तो जो आपने जो Mughals of real estate industry पढ़ा था वो, और दूसरा Ikigai. So, is there any other book? Are you a good, regular reader?
I buy a lot of books. I read less, but I'm like this butterfly that goes and sits on top of the flower and just takes the nectar.
क्या बात है?
So the best book, as far as me, I've got inspired by this book called Most and More.
Most and More.
Written by a gentleman called T.T. Rangarajan.
T.P. Rangarajan.
Yeah, Mahatreya. He's called Mahatreya.
Mahatreya, yeah.
Yeah.
Mahatreya.
So, Power of Infinitesium.
Yeah.
I read this book called Most and More.
Hmm.
It's one of my favorite books.
Excellent. And which is your favorite place in the world?
Location?
Place. Yeah, any place you always feel great, whenever you are in that place. You would love to, or you aspire to visit your place, any place.
Uh, it's a temple called Kollur, Mogambika.
Wow.
And I don't know if you've heard of Sabrimala. These are two places
Yes,
that I always
Sabrimala.
want to go.
Yes.
Yeah, so these are two places I want to go to. This is something that revigorates myself. Yeah.
Excellent. So you are you have played the cricket. You have been to Empire. So first is, who is your favorite cricketer, and why?
My favorite cricketer always has been Rahul Dravid.
See what happens. When you say this choice now, that reflects what kind of person you will be. So that is the purpose of asking.
My favorite cricketer has been Rahul Dravid, and I always enjoyed Mark Waugh playing cricket.
Mark Waugh. Wow.
Yeah. He was lazy elegance. Rahul Dravid was basic elegance.
Excellent, yeah. Lazy elegance and lazy elegance. And who is your favorite leader from across the world in all strata of the life?
You're talking about business, politics, whatever.
Anything, for all strata of life. It can be from anywhere.
I've always looked up on to Nelson Mandela.
See, if Indian people cannot live without Bollywood, or maybe आपके साउथ में भी बहुत सारे फिल्में बनती हैं.
Correct.
Correct. So film is a part of our life, and sometimes
Absolutely.
we learn a lot of things from the film. जितना हम फिल्मों से सीखते हैं, शायद उसका उतना इफेक्ट और कहाँ से नहीं आता. So, which is your favorite film, and which are your favorite hero and heroine?
Actor in Bollywood, I've always been inspired by two people in Bollywood. One is Saif Ali Khan. दूसरा है Farhan Akhtar.
Farhan Akhtar.
Yeah. So these are the two people who I've looked up to. Saif Ali Khan has been the debonair of Bollywood.
Yeah.
Okay. Farhan Akhtar is actually an inspiration.
Yes.
So these are the two people whom I like in Bollywood. My favorite movie is being Dil Chahta Hai. Okay. My favorite actress, I like two actresses. One is Raveena Tandon, and I like Twinkle Khanna.
Raveena and
Twinkle.
Yes. So this is again a broker की पाठशाला provides you this platform for the life. ये आपके लिए लाइफ में एक मौका है जहाँ पे आप ये हमने आपकी लाइफ की जर्नी सुनी. If you want to acknowledge someone in public, you want to thank someone for whatever you have learned something in your life or made a difference, like you were talking about your first was Sekharan. So you can acknowledge that, and also any regret in your life, you can share something about that.
Thankfully, no regrets in life. If I've actually been harsh to somebody, I'll apologize. So that's something that I'd like to do. Acknowledgement for people who have inspired me. I have hordes to tell. I have a loads of list to say, but I'd acknowledge my parents at first, for bearing with me for so long and still having confidence in me, thinking that I'll make it some big in life. I'll be some big person in life. And I've always wanted to thank my wife. She's been a pillar of strength.
Excellent.
So she's bared with all my excess and vice. So I'd like to thank her for that. I'd like to thank my partners, especially Balaji and Rajesh Anna, for bearing with me for all the nonsense I've put them through, and my colleagues in office, my association members, my friends, Ravi. He's been a great source of inspiration, and quite a lot of other people are there. I don't want to put their names.
That's fine. I got it. So I am very happy that you acknowledge your wife. That is the most important thing.
Yeah.
We don't get such kind of opportunity in life.
Absolutely.
So I thought
And I'm
started
hoping that
thinking about it.
I'm hoping that she's listening to this.
Yeah,
And
but the best part of this program is she can listen later also. You know, you can ask
no,
her.
I've shared the link and asked her to listen. So that's why I told her name.
So, what you know, we always until unless you plan something for future. Sometimes you know we derive happiness from future, and this I learned from effectively from our Prime Minister Narendra Modi. You know, this distinction came in my mind few years back when he started talking about Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, and he portrayed our country at certain level. You know, so every morning he will talk about certain things and unveil certain plan that we have to, like how he is saying that by 2030, 5 trillion economy. The moment you talk that, you know, more you're speaking about it regularly, that actually help you and encourage you, inspire you, motivate you to plan something big and do something big. So sometimes we derive happiness from the future planning. So what are your future goals for your organization and your personal goal?
As an organization, we have two things. We have two goals. We also want to get into the space of prop tech. As I told you, that we want to build something that makes real estate easy. That is a dream that I have. I don't know whether I'll achieve it or not, but that's a dream that I'm looking at.
Excellent.
And as an organization, I told you, we want to be that one organization where that confused individual seeks help from for his real estate solution. So that is something as a dream that I'm going to drive. The other thing for future,
Yeah.
the other thing for future, other than the organization, if you ask for myself, I want to contribute to the society by two ways. One is start working effectively on ground by being there physically and helping people. One. Two, in terms of helping children who don't have access to education, get them access to education. That's something that I want.
Excellent. I think you have started some organization with your friend recently.
No. I'm a part of a foundation. I'm a part
What is
of
the foundation? Can you share something about that?
It's called We the Leaders Foundation. It's
We the Leaders.
Yeah, We the Leaders. It's a foundation that's basically aimed to help farmers farm economically and organically, and also to help children get jobs after their undergraduation, so that we fulfill the demand supply gap of being office ready. Children are sometimes not office ready.
Yes.
So we make them office ready so that they can enter into the corporate atmosphere.
Excellent. You know, I am also planning to start this Broker Ki Pathshala offline as a basic course for real estate brokerage business. So as you said, there are a lot of children out there in the society who are maybe a 12th pass or maybe a first year and drop out. You know, so those kind of children are not getting a proper job in our society. So then they go to a wrong direction, and then the moment they got into a wrong direction, then it's very difficult for them to come back to the mainstream. So I was thinking that you know, in our profession now, our industry is growing very fast. We don't get good manpower. Every one of us need, you know, 3, 4, 5 people who can be like an office support staff who can go and show the place, you know, do the stamp duty registration, maybe sitting on the back office in CRM and, you know, call center. So now these staff, they don't require to be a graduate or MBA, but they are the greatest strength of our organization in real estate. So we are planning to, you know, go to such institute and the colleges and invite those people, those students, to do this basic course. And then also we are going to give them certificate, and then we will put their data on our Broker Ki Pathshala, so that any brokers who want the, you know, people who knows now basic of real estate, they can hire them.
Oh, fantastic.
So maybe in a small time, you know, 30 hours course, they will get immediately job opportunity.
Brilliant thought.
And especially for girls, to be honest with you, in our industry we don't have, you know, still we are not up to mark compared to West. So this is my thought for that, and I'm sure all of us together we can make a difference in our society.
Great thought, Anubhaya. Great thought.
And,
because I always believe that real estate comes naturally for a woman.
Yes, absolutely.
So the decision making process in every house
yes,
actually runs to a woman. She says, "Oh, this is how the kitchen has to be. The slab has to be here." So her thought process of the house is much better than yours and mine. And when she comes, I don't think there's anybody better than her.
So there are three most important quality in women, with regards to our profession. One is the understanding of the how to run the home. They know, correct? Number one. Number two, they have the more patience than us.
Correct.
And number three, they are good listener. So I think these three things makes a big difference in our profession.
You're right. Absolutely.
Somebody comes with this quality, and we have seen in our fellow women realtor in NIR India also. So now we are coming to the final question, which I love to ask this question to many people in my life. Whenever we meet and when I get interaction with someone very close. So everybody knows about the goal of their life. As you said, you want to do PropTech and you want to do this thing. And then we put a timeline, 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line. There are people who have a bucket list. So there is one thing which actually keeps us going is the purpose. And purpose goes with us. Correct? So purpose don't get changed. There is one purpose, but not many people know what is the purpose of their life. So I want to ask you, what is the purpose of your life?
Seek more.
Excellent, yeah. Excellent, Shiva. I really enjoyed, interacting with you. Almost, quarter to 2 hours, and we never felt that time is passing.
Absolutely.
And it was lots of learning. Your life story is really amazing. इसके ऊपर आप एक तमिल में फिल्म भी बना सकते हैं.
Picture बना सकते हैं ना?
100%. And I'm sure many of our brokers' story out of this 29 session, it is interesting. अगर कोई एक बंदा बैठ के सारे stories को साथ में देखेगा तो mix match करके 3-4 मूवी बन सकते हैं. And at least I want to see that at least at NIR India we create one story out of this and promote this industry as a broker, as a realtor. Who is realtor? If we can get something out of it, I'm sure we will do that. And before we move forward, we have one question coming from there are few people I really appreciate and admire who have been watching Broker Ki Pathshala in all season. And I think they are the people who are encouraging me to keep this going. So one amongst them is Rakesh Agarwal from Bhopal. Please suggest secondary resale market is better or primary market in tier 2 city like Bhopal, etc. Because no major national level builder coming to Bhopal kind of city. So what is your view?
Secondary is always better because primary has an innate market. वो online में कर लेंगे, ढूंढना है तो आसान कर लेंगे. तो secondary is where your information is strength. Use your information, work on secondary.
Great. I think there is another. Okay, is same question. I think we have done this. Thank you, Shiva. And on behalf of all the brokers out there, my Broker Ki Pathshala team, we would like to present a certificate as we are online. And I'm associated with Rotary for last 26 years, and every season we have been supporting the cause. Instead of presenting a memento, we are presenting a certificate. So today, on your behalf, because of your presence here, for your time and guidance, Squarefeet Foundation is going to contribute to the cause of Annapurna project by Rotary Club of Mumbai, Daisar, by contributing for 100 meals for underprivileged children. So can we have a certificate? So please accept. I will read the certificate. It is Broker Ki Pathshala and initiative by Squarefeet Foundation. Certificate of appreciation to express our gratitude to Mr. Shivkumar CR, founder and CEO, Dhanvi Ventures India Private Limited, for his gracious presence and significant contribution in making Broker Ki Pathshala a great success. We are pleased to sponsor 100 meals under Annapurna project by Rotary Club of Mumbai, Dahisar, which will provide food for the underprivileged. Today on 27th August, signed by yours truly, Chairperson, Square Foundation. Shiva, thank you very much. It was indeed my pleasure to have you today on Broker की पाठशाला. You don't know, but हम लोग आज की जो मोमेंट है, हो सकता है 2 साल 3 साल के बाद जब बैठ के सुनेंगे आपको, तो हमको पता चलेगा कि what kind of knowledge sharing is going to help to many people in our industry. And the good part about this technology is it will be always there, in the universe. So I request all the brokers. We have created this Broker Ki Pathshala community on the Facebook. Please be part of it. If you have missed this session, you can watch there as per your convenience. Not only that, all the past seasons, all the session is also uploaded there. You must share this with your fellow brokers. ब्रोकर की पाठशाला का मतलब ही है हम सब बांटना है, सबको बांटने से बढ़ता है. तो अगर आपको इसमें से कुछ अच्छी सीख मिली है तो अपने पास मत रखिए, इसको शेयर करिए आपके ग्रुप में. एंड आई वांट दिस कम्युनिटी टू बी अ वेरी बिग so that we can make a difference to everybody by one click. ब्रोकर की पाठशाला के जो सीजन है वो तो चलते रहेंगे. In between we might come out with some different ideas which will help all the brokers in India. So before I say goodbye to Shiva and all of you, let me announce for the next session, the concluding session. Shiva, this will be the 30th session of season 3. So we thought after next generation, new generation, what comes? It is millennials. So we thought of having a master class, a group discussion with millennial on next Friday. We are going to have 4 or 5 millennials. We want to ask them what is real estate. They have joined real estate maybe 1.5 years, someone 2 years, someone 6 months, but highly educated. Taken masters from UK, masters from US, and still they have chose. I think this is the generation which is going to make a big difference in our industry. I think these will be the brand ambassador of real estate in India. So please don't miss to attend the next session live. You are going to get some outstanding insight. What you and me are thinking, Shiva, about future of real estate. I think we need to really look from their glasses, millennials glasses. Because what they think, I think, हमारा जो आज का जो generation gap है ना, वो अभी पहले 10 साल था, फिर 5 साल हुआ. I think now 3 years is the generation gap. Looking at the kind of change management we are looking in and around us. So I am going to interact with 4 or 5 millennials. I'll ask them questions. We will learn a lot of things from them, how they see future real estate in India and in the world. So till then, please take care of yourself. Shiva, your last word.
Thank you very much, Vinod Bhaiya. Thank you very much for bearing with us. And I'm really, really indebted for whatever you're doing, the food that you've given to underprivileged children. I'm really indebted. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And you please keep continuing this. I keep praying, and you will always be there in our prayers, that this Broker Ki Pathshala should make an impact and change the life of most of the brokers on planet Earth in India. Thank you very much, Vinod.
Thank you very much, friends. So nice of you for being part of this wonderful session. Please take care and see you next Friday. Thank you very much.
Thank you.